What up?
Are we live yet?
No. Yeah. Just me right now. I don't know where Nick is.
Okay, I was just set up.
Hey, do you have a like headphone, earphone mic? Uh, like earphones that have a mic
Oh,
in it?
does the headphones work?
Yeah, it should. Just the mic. You know what I mean? The mic part of it. Yeah, it'll work just normal on your end, but we'll just have a
Okay.
microphone.
Let me grab one really quick. Why is it echoing here?
No, we just have a problem like when people move away from their stuff or whatever, and their volume goes up and down.
Okay. Let me make sure I turn my camera right there. Okay, here. Let me grab one. Hey guys.
What's up, Nick? I don't think your microphone's working. I can't hear you. Nick, I can't hear you. Do you have your mic on?
Tell the dog to zip it.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little loud. I don't think it needs to be to your mouth.
I'm gonna eat the microphone like it's a
Halogen light bulb.
It actually sounds worse.
This sounds worse?
No, I mean with it in your mouth.
Sounds worse?
With it inside of it, yeah.
First time you probably ever said that.
No. The mic sounds better. It wasn't inside your mouth then. Yeah, exactly. That sounds worse.
You probably never said it sounds worse in your mouth.
Oh.
Dude, with this new, well, I've always had this chair here, but I could quite possibly fall asleep mid-podcast with this setup.
Oh, it's excellent.
You should see I got the same Windex bottle as before, holding my webcam, so I don't look like this. Hey guys.
What's up? No. Don't worry, we'll wait for you. We're not going to throw you under the bus. Look at this guy's got a chalkboard in the back of his, Nick. Step it up.
I know. I want to paint this wall like that.
Yeah,
What up, Jeffrey? Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me in this?
Yeah, that's awesome actually.
Real good. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Oh, dude, I don't have my alcohol ready yet.
You do or you don't have it? All right.
Can you hear us, Jeff? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear Clint? No,
Can you hear me now?
but I did a minute.
Is there?
Dude, I tried telling people not to call me, but everyone's gonna freaking call me. Dude, I already tried setting up for this. It's like the second you tell somebody not to call you, then they're gonna start calling me.
Well, we're
Yeah,
gonna.
they're call. Hey, you on that podcast yet? Did it start? Go. Dude, hello? Sorry, somebody keeps calling me, guys. We can hear you the whole time.
You can hit that button where it says I can't talk right now, right?
I actually did.
All
You
right.
could answer it. Who answered the call the one time?
Well, somebody had to get it screwed up the whole podcast. He got off the air. Hold on, let me. I'll start it now.
It was me. It was me. It's because somebody keeps calling me.
We're live now. Just so everybody
Alright.
knows.
Front camera.
Two Wheel Tuesday podcast number 43 with Jeffrey Scott. And it is brought to you. Sorry, I was going to get into it, but I'll do my ads first. Brought to you by Emoticons. Do you have an iPhone, Jeff? Do you have an iPhone?
Yes, sir.
Do you have emoticons? You don't.
No, I don't know what those are.
Well,
You gotta get them.
you got to get them.
Dude, I heard
Their
about
iPhone
you
op-
guys I heard about you guys talking about them last time, and I was about to like looking it up, but I don't remember what happened.
Who were you watching when? Who was on when you were watching?
It's the time you guys had Moto Pin Mark on,
Okay.
and he let me know because you guys actually were talking about me on that episode. Yeah, you're trying to give it to your kid.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, so last time, Moto Pit Mark was telling me that you guys were discussing some of our stuff, so we listened to the whole show, and we thought it was pretty cool that you guys were, I think, I forget what exactly was said, but Moto Pit Mark said some pretty cool stuff, and that was pretty cool. We were all pumped up about that.
Dude, he said so much, I'd have to rewatch it because halfway through, I broke, I think, and we went on.
Well,
for like,
yeah, that's what he said too. He said you guys are all drunk, and I could tell from. But hey, speaking of, I don't have alcohol on me right now. But what I brought today was I have some hairspray, I have some spray-on filter oil, and then I got some WD-40. So I was just gonna start out with the hairspray that I just had.
Hold on, let me get this thing on. Hold on, I'm having a hard time with Facebook again. Let me get it on Facebook first.
yeah.
Alright,
Make sure for sure this is recorded. So, hey, what's up with the eating stuff?
Dude, I don't know, man. I really can't. I have no answer for that. It just one day. What happened was, one day I was like, dude, I siphoned gas my whole life, and I got a bunch of gas in my mouth. So what happened is I just dumped I just actually took the race gas and just put it straight in my mouth and spit it out, and then I don't know, dude. People got a pretty good reaction out of it. So then I'm kind of like an attention whore maybe. So then I just kept going for it. I'm just kidding.
Dude, I showed my wife because I go, this is who we have on tonight, and I showed her you drinking gas, and she got so mad. She goes, "Who is this guy? Why would he do that?" Like I showed her that. I showed you eating the light bulb when it was plugged in.
The chain lube.
Yeah, I did just see that.
Yeah, I showed her that too. After she saw you drink the gas, that was the final one. She just walked away.
Dude. Well, do you guys
It was
want to
awesome.
check it? Am I on? You guys want to see this?
Hold on, I think we're live on Facebook, but I just started using Facebook and I'm not totally sure.
Oh, we should get
Hang on,
somebody else
look
to
at that.
find
Oh
out.
yeah, it says it's live
Hey,
on my
Houston.
phone.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I have Fab One. I have hairspray, and I brought some WD-40. So we'll just go with this. Start out with the hairspray. Not even all that bad. I know it's not bad.
Oh, right off the bat.
Anyways, bro, yeah, because I just like, I don't know what it is, bro, but that adrenaline, it's almost gets you high as actually a shot. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, but I'm not. It really does, dude. Some of that stuff gets you a pretty good little adrenaline rush going.
It's your body telling you it's dying.
His body's a temple, Nick.
Yeah, I call it the kidney shutdown challenge.
You better not say that. That'll take off.
Did you eat a Tide Pod?
Yeah, I did. Oh yeah, I ate a Tide Pod, but what happened is Facebook and
Took it
Instagram
down.
both deleted it, but it's still on my my YouTube. I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say because I couldn't find it, and I remember Moto Pips kept posting Tide Pod memes, and that was getting them shut down.
Dude, that's where I got the idea from. Because I thought it was kind of funny that he kind of inspired me, you know. And I was like, "What's with this Tide Pod thing?" And then so I tried it, and the funny thing was, it really wasn't. I mean, honestly, it all it tasted like was a like a washer and dryer, you know, or washer. You know, when you're doing your laundry, and it just tastes like a laundry going off in my mouth.
Like when you're doing your laundry and you just drink a little bit of it.
Yeah, when you just accidentally get a shot of some laundry detergent, bro.
When it splashes out of there. Uh,
Um. So hold on. I was gonna. Hey, give me one sec. Hey, can you go? Can you shut that? And can you check on Facebook? Tell Houston to check Facebook. I just wanted to. I just asked somebody if they would check.
oh no,
my
Mark texted me.
Facebook.
Moto Pimps texted me. He said we're on Facebook, but no YouTube. But I was
Oh,
like,
sick.
I can't do both at the same time. I can barely run one, so give me a break.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not too. It's crazy with all this social media that goes on. I find that I really don't have time for all of them, and Instagram they make it so easy for you to post these things and get exposure, and it's a great thing for freestyle motocross. I think Instagram is probably one of the best things to happen in freestyle motocross since like Crusty Demons and Dirt and all that. You know that was like the that's where it all started. Really, they gave the most exposure, and it sucks that Instagram blocks everybody or censors us so bad. You know.
I think Instagram takes off, especially like that's my favorite. I think because we're all dirt bikers. I just want to see pictures,
Well, that's I
videos.
say Instagram is Twitter with pictures, and I'm all for
Yeah, and
that.
I don't want to write.
I don't want to read.
No.
Yeah, and that's the coolest thing about it is you just kind of, you cut to the chase when you're on Instagram. You just get, you go on there, you can scroll through, see a few videos, and then you're out, And I think that's why it's so efficient for action sports. But if you ask me, I think that somebody needs to make a new social media platform for action sports. But I don't know.
The problem is
That's
that
my
you always want to advertise to the biggest audience. So if you had, listen, think about this. How cool guy are
well.
motocross people? They're not. They don't buy you motocons. It's two. It was $1.99. They're like, I'm not spending $1.99 on this fucking
Hey,
guy's stuff.
explain these
He's
motocons
like,
too. So
It's
that
99 cents
no,
now.
he's like,
hey,
they're like,
explain
sponsor
this.
me, man. Uh,
Oh shoot,
so
he's
basically,
fighting the dog.
it would just be a whole.
Yeah.
It would be a whole group of people not supporting a whole industry not supporting itself, and it would just die.
Dude, I have a
What?
way
You're talking to
bigger.
motocross
I have
only?
a way bigger. I have a way bigger idea for it, and I feel like that it's not just for motorcycle videos. It could be for all motorsports. But we can talk about that some other time. I have
Okay.
lots of crazy ideas all the time.
Like, here is emotocons. So
Oh,
we.
It's a
Oh,
broken screen filter.
yeah, I got a broke fucking hashtag broken screen filter. See, like there's a pinned hand.
oh yeah.
Back it up
However,
just a.
however you want to explain it.
And it's
Uh,
only oh, I see what you're saying. They're like moto emojis. Is what
yeah,
you're saying.
exactly.
Yeah.
Here's Larry
Oh,
Loop
dude,
out.
that's sick. Who's the maker of these?
Me.
Dude, that thing, hey, that's such a great idea, Clint. I'm serious. I'll go buy that. I didn't See, I didn't understand exactly what it was because I don't list those things as a emoticon or whatever. I just call them emojis. So like I didn't understand
I gotcha. I could have called it
Stripped by emojis.
emoticon.
emoji. No, no, you
Moto
should just list.
emojis.
You should list
Moto
that if
emoji.
you're advertising something. Cause dude, that's sick. I promise you, when we get done with this, I'll be buying. Oh, is it shot time?
Yeah, sure.
Right on
Yeah,
time.
sickening. Dude,
What was that?
I'm saving the filter oil for the end because actually, I've actually never. I'll tell you guys a little secret. I've never actually ingested motor filter oil, so this is gonna be the first time on this show. I don't know if anyone
That
ever
might
has,
burn,
dude.
dude.
It's sticking to my freaking fingers. It's all over. I don't even know how it's gonna come off my tongue, dude.
How
Yeah, and it's got that alcohol in it that like evaporates.
Oh, I don't know, man.
do you ever feel
It's
bad
rough.
after eating some of this stuff? Like a Tide Pod? Did you feel like shit the next day?
No, no, dude, no. And I felt I don't really. I feel like it's bad and it's not good for your body. But the truth is, I mean, our moms used to wash our mouths out with soap, so it can't be that bad. They didn't kill any kids, or maybe they did. I don't know.
I feel like we have much better
Dude, that kid on
chemicals now.
Christmas story went blind.
Oh, dude, if you were to eat that thing, I could tell you right now, I felt it. If you were to eat one of those Tide Pods, you would die.
Oh, you didn't actually
If you were to
swallow
eat
it. You just chewed on it.
No, hell, dude, you'll die, dude. You gotta
That's
spit it
why I
out.
was
You go
asking if you felt like shit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. I feel like shit every day because
All the shit you eat.
of all the freaking pills I take to keep me going every day. Like I take a freaking ibuprofen. I take a freaking Ambien to go to sleep because my hip hurts so bad that I can't really sleep at night, dude. It hurts to sleep, so I take Ambien. So then I wake up. I I don't take any more opiates or pain pills. I quit all that a while back.
You take
But I still wake up
methamphetamine.
with like, no, yeah, I don't take anything like that. I stick to like if I do street drugs, I try to keep it to like only coke or no. I'm just kidding.
I thought, I'm in government prescribed meth, so it's fine.
Oh, dude, well, that's Adderall, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Adderall is, I mean, God's gift to energy drinks, bro. I mean, like, you know, Adderall will whoop ass on a Red Bull any day, but yet, they also turn into a crackhead with them. So.
Yeah, but the original Coca-Cola would have killed all of them because it had cocaine in it.
Oh, dude, I'd been so addicted to that original Coca-Cola, I'd be on it all day. Dude.
I bet
Every
everyone
morning.
was.
This is
But
interesting
for real though,
already.
hey, for real, yeah, no, I really can't. I don't really do that stuff because this is the honest truth. I really do like riding more than any like that adrenaline rush of making new jumps and doing things. That's what gets me going, dude. It's about I like making new crap and being the first one to do something. And there's some big things that we're doing coming in the future soon. And believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize this from watching from what the outside, but like all these little experiments we do have all been leading up to some big things that we're doing. And it's going down. We just bought a new tractor, Caterpillar 259B3 on tracks, and we just bought a whole bunch of building materials. Oh, crap. And a whole bunch of foam. We've probably spent about 50 grand. Oh, we bought property too. So like all these little experiments that we've been doing are leading to this one big thing that we're doing. We're hopefully going to have it done in the next 2 months or so. And anyways, I just think, dude, that as a freestyle motocross rider, you guys gotta agree that that adrenaline rush, it's almost like a drug. If
Yeah, it
you
totally
really think
is.
about it.
It is for
I'm trying
sure.
to. So does any of this have to do with any of like the cars you put ramp setups on?
It yeah, I mean, kind of. Basically, like it's weird how it all starts. It's like that super loop thing that I did. I was realizing that nobody's ever done that on a dirt bike before. I would realize that I was like, dude, no one's ever done an open loop. They've done like similar things, but nobody actually did that open loop. So I was like, dude, I think it's possible, you know? And I'm a framer by trade. That's one, yeah, that's the truck ramp right there.
Hold on, Nick. Let
So
me bring it
anything
up.
I
I'll
think
just pull up
of,
some random stuff.
I basically make a prototype of it out of wood, and the plan is to take it to all metal. So I'm gonna build a metal truck ramp that's just a truck ramp. It's not gonna have the landing onto it. It's just gonna be the ramp part.
Mm-hmm.
The landing was kind of an experiment, and
Hold on, play it
we
again, Nick.
realized we didn't need the landing as much.
Yeah, Mark showed me a picture, and the landing was like 4 feet wide, and I was like, I'm not fucking jumping to that. I can tell you that.
We did it. We did it, but
Can you see this?
It's such a delay on my
that was my
screen.
first.
So for
That
anybody
was the
just
first
listening to
question I had.
audio, he's got a pickup truck that has a takeoff, a wooden takeoff on one side, and like a landing on the other, and he's jumping onto the roof of the house. I couldn't really see it.
Yeah, yeah. That one, the church jump.
Hey, let me give you a little bit
Which one?
of good help here. If you're when you're gonna backflip, okay, watch the very end of whatever you're flipping, and once your
Yeah,
front wheel feels like it's going off of the end, then pull.
yeah.
Because if you pull like too early, you
Do
can
you
G
know?
into it or whatever. And you can manual on a
Do you
bicycle.
know? Do you know that I've done? I take every pointer that anyone ever gives me. But are you guys familiar with Chapter 11? Jason Abel,
Yeah.
Arlen, Ace Van Dam. Yeah, those are my really good friends, and they dude that's where my roots. I learned how to backflip into their foam pit, and I flipped to dirt at their compound. But it got shut down, and that's kind of once I flipped, and once I wasn't able to flip anymore because I needed more foam pit time. Even though I was flipping to dirt, I needed more foam pit time because I just winged it to dirt,
Yeah.
and they shut the foam pit down, and that's a long story in itself. But basically, I know how to flip off a super kicker to dirt, but that mini flipping thing, man, that is really, and you gotta understand, I before I did that backflip, those mini flips, I hadn't even ridden a dirt bike in probably 10 years. Those are my first few times riding in a really really long time, and one of them I spun it around all the way, but then I figured out, dude, that mini flips they're like a totally different animal.
Well, so here's how I would see like super kickers. Basically, it's so steep already at the top that all you need to do is kind of lean back, and you'll already loop around one. But once you get onto flatter things, you got to wait longer and then pull as you're coming off as the motor drives you around. And then a mini flip, you're taking the amount of actual ramp that you have. You know, like on a big ramp, it's 21 feet long the face. So you still ride on it a little bit, and then you wait and you pull. Well, if you're on a ramp that small, you literally have to pull exactly perfect just in that like bike length of space, you know? So it's way more crucial to pull at the right time on something like that.
Dude, it was way more difficult to do a mini flip than I expected. The first one, I didn't do it to any. I didn't lay down any mattresses or anything. What's funny, no one really knows this, but I spent 8 hours digging up tumbleweeds in the desert, and I made like this tumbleweed foam pit. You can't really see it, not, and that's not the that's a little ghetto foam pit. I call them ghetto pits, the ones in the desert. That's the first get. That's where I got the idea, kind of, to do my ghetto pit. I call it also the AKA the snake pit, because there were snakes crawling out.
That's what I was gonna say.
I was just gonna ask you the same thing.
Well, Chuck's even
snakes, rabbits, and rats.
Dude,
and mice.
Chuck's
And
pit
lizards.
was like
And
a foot off of the
black
ground,
lizards.
and it still had snakes in it.
Wow, forget that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Off the ground?
Yeah. It was, the whole thing was built like a foot up in a box, and it was still like, we dug into one side one time trying to fluff up the stuff, and we found snakes in there.
Dude, so the foam pit we're building, yeah, I don't have the money really to do a whole lot of crazy, extravagant, basically, but there is a little spin come with that foam pit. I'm doing something with that foam pit that nobody's ever done before, and it's actually going to be pretty, dude, I'm telling you, wait till everybody sees what we're building into our foam pit.
Well,
and it's going to blow people away. But
don't light it on
that's-
fire, because they've already done that.
dude, that's and here's another thing. Here's another thing though that I've been working on. So, and here's how it's working out. So I've ordered a foam or a airbag, you know,
Yep.
the kind that you land on the landing, not the
Oh,
kind
yeah,
that
yeah,
you,
yeah. The big airbag.
yeah, not the kind that, no, it's like, yeah, you put it on your landing, so
Yeah.
it's a soft landing.
Yep.
So here's the deal. This is my issue. I'm trying to start this little airbag company, and I have a manufacturer and all that. But the problem is that it's hard. You know, it's hard to just pay for that thing outright without knowing somebody's gonna buy it already.
Yeah.
So I've been struggling with that a little. So I paid them the deposit like a long time ago, and now I'm kind of just waiting to get a little more money to pick the thing up so they could ship it here. And that's another thing that I think the future of foam pits, I think everything's pretty soon. I think that foam pits will start being more and more rare.
Yeah, for sure.
But right now it costs $80,000 for Travis Pastrana's freaking airbag, whereas I could get them for about a quarter of that price. So I'm just trying to work that all out, but that's my next goal.
Nice.
Getting airbags made?
Yeah, I already have the manufacturer. I've already given them a deposit. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I bet you just got,
Sorry,
you got a
guys.
phone call.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I got. Am I there? Am I back?
You're back.
Once it's my girlfriend. She's probably gonna call like 50 times to answer.
Bring it on.
But
Bring her
anyways.
online. Let's go on speakerphone.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that conversation. She'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Who are you with?
So have you jumped an airbag?
No, I haven't, but I'm fully willing to.
But he's not scared, Nick.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
doubt that.
fully willing to buy one of these cheaper airbags that I could get a hold of. And what I'm gonna do is I want to start a little side business, you know, doing airbags, selling airbags on the side. But I have to come up with the freaking $7,000 to buy the damn thing.
So what's your
You know
price
what I mean?
point on this airbag? She's calling back.
Just answer it.
Sorry, dude.
Just answer it.
I think that we're okay.
You're,
I just sent her the.
we're
text
okay.
part
You're
that-
not.
I sent her the part that said I can't talk right now.
Uh-oh.
She thinks you're getting pulled over or some shit.
She's gonna
arrested.
bust in
Yeah,
that door.
I tried. What I did was I texted her and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna be on this podcast," and I sent her the link and all that. But what happened was, you know, she probably didn't understand what was going on. So hopefully she figures that out. And so
She thinks you're just watching YouTube
dude,
videos.
no, she thinks that what I'm doing right now is goofing off and filming some stupid shit of me drinking gas or something stupid like that. Because typically that's what I'm doing. And I don't spend all day. I still have to go to work. You know, I'm a contractor. I'm basically a structural. I do structural like concrete and framing. That's kind of how I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's kind of how I know how to build ramps and how to, you know, I build all my ramps out of scrap wood from job sites. I try. That's my goal when I do them. I feel like if I spend money on it, then it's not worth it. So I really like that landing ramp, Clint, that you had. That thing was, dude, that gave me so many good ideas of that scaffolding.
Dude, that was a pain in the ass. They
I like
waited
that
till like,
scaffolding theory, though.
yo, they
Where'd you
waited.
come up with that?
We were on the island, and they basically, it was the like stuff that they could get. So we told them to get scaffolding. So they got scaffolding. That stuff's like 12 and a half or 13 feet tall. So we built the deck. We framed out just the whole safety of it. And then we may have done
Yeah.
that. We framed the safety. We put we had 2 by like 10s or 12s or something. And we had to scab two of them together. Those downsides are all like two by 12 scabbed together. And then we hooked that. We made all the long pieces. Actually, we made square frames. So we made like
Yeah.
3 or 4 square, like rectangle frames. And then we picked them up and we hooked them on the end of the scaffolding. And then we nailed them together. And then we, ran some verticals. And then we like double or triple sheeted the plywood on it. And then even
Yeah.
at the bottom, like the one piece of plywood, we would run the plywood bent into the ground. So actually the transition out into the ground was one of the smoothest ramps that I've ever ridden. But everybody's like, that's scary.
How long ago was that?
Like 2011.
Dude, I mean,
I've been
it's
doing
just
sketchy
crazy though
shit for a
that,
long time.
dude, it's sketchy, but in a weird way, it's so genius that, because I've had this theory that I could buy scaffolding on like Craigslist or something. Because, dude, I'll tell you what, to get up high and do, if you want to do some crazy crap and build some tall ass shit, you start breaking it starts becoming very, very expensive, and there's almost no way to build that kind of stuff for free. But with that scaffolding, that scaffolding counts as like so much lumber,
Oh, yeah.
so I've had the theory, but I haven't actually put it to use yet. So when I see those kind of things, man, my brain just starts ticking, and I wish I could tell everybody what we're building next, but I gotta wait until I get a little further on it, because right now I just have the building materials, and what happens is I start talking about things, and then
People do it.
before you know it, the people with the money, you don't think they're listening to you, but they are watching and they're listening, and they go and build your stuff before you can.
Yeah.
So I just keep it to myself now, kind of, until I'm right about to build it. At least I know nobody's going to build it, they're not going to build it in 5 days.
Right, figure it out and make it before you get done with it.
But
I was just gonna say, give us a hint, but I don't want.
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint.
Well, now if it's gonna blow it.
It needs to be really tall, okay? And it's got to be a really tall, big structure. And something like scaffolding might be used on what I'm doing. And that's about all I could give you, is that it's going to be a tall ass structure, like 30 feet tall. So, and yeah,
30-foot tall spine.
That's huge.
Yeah, that is one of my. That's definitely one of my things that I'm going to be building. is like a moto spine. But what I'm gonna do is next week I'm gonna take the skid
Uh
Shutting them down.
the skid steer. Are you? Am I back on?
oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the skid steer out, and I'm gonna find like a. I already have like a spine picked out, and I'm gonna build it out of dirt for now, and just kind of test it out. But definitely with that structure that I'm building, it's gonna open up doors to lots of other things. I mean, you can imagine in the problem that I've faced is that building a tall ass structure is very expensive no matter what way you do it. And one of the cheapest ways to do it, and I just bought an auger bit for my tractor, is one of the cheapest ways to do it is a telephone poles. That's one of the cheapest ways to get up really tall. So,
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's like our buddy Dan built a little 3-story fall off this thing into a pond structure out of
Slash
telephone poles. I
slash
don't know if he did,
slide.
but somebody did.
Somebody did.
dude, that's awesome, man.
I mean,
You
not
would
for
have loved
television,
that.
just for
It's still, you know
a
what?
slot.
What I do is when I see structures anywhere on whatever social media, whatever online, dude, I take notes, and I basically got this whole thing figured out. And as soon as I got it figured out, and as soon as I got all the materials there, one of my neighbors, complained. And now I gotta, what I have to do is take all that material and temporarily either hide it or get it off the property for a couple days till the inspector comes back. And then we already started building a fence. So what we're gonna do is the inspector told me this is what I gotta do. I gotta build like a 6 foot high fence with like covering on it. And you guys probably see like temporary fences, you know, that green like cover, like that screen that they
Yeah,
put on there.
like a
So
big silt fence looking thing.
yeah, I'm basically gonna use that screen so that the neighbors and crap aren't gonna see my raw building materials, because that's what they complained of. They complained that it was trash, but it wasn't. The same with my foam. They think my foam pit, because it's all bagged up in bags, like trash bags, they think that it's trash. Like, so somebody called the city. The city's all, yeah, well, you gotta contain that better, blah blah blah. But we've been waiting for a tractor to get here. We ordered it 2 weeks ago. It just got here yesterday. So I don't know if you guys
Where are
seen
you
my.
at?
He's in
What's
California,
that?
bruh.
Yeah, California.
The
Where?
neighbors,
I don't know
the
if any of
neighbors
you
are
guys
over
have.
there. The neighbors are over there having organically sourced coffee beans with fucking
Look at him. And he's
like
huffing fucking.
goat milk butter in it, fucking,
Oh, dude, I
and looking
guarantee you
out
it
and
was
seeing this
the
guy's fucking foam
Californians.
pit.
I guarantee you that it was the Californians that complained about the Tide Pods. I'll
Yeah.
bet you $1 million, dude. That LA County is the pickiest place you could live on this planet.
That's
And
where you're at.
yeah, I'm in LA County. I'm about 60 miles north of Los Angeles. So, and surrounded around Los Angeles, the outskirts, dude, that's where all the rich people live, because that's where they're able to ride their horses and have their ranches and stuff. And dude, they're the you know you'll move out, you'll think you're moving out to the middle of nowhere in LA County, and it's almost just as bad as living in a track home. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, the problem is it's the same
So
thing like you have New York City and you have New York State, and New York State still has all the same laws and a lot of the same codes and shit that New York City does. So they're living out in the middle
oh,
of
for sure.
nowhere, but they're like taxed like crazy, and there's all these regulations on them and shit.
Dude, it's not the best place. It's illegal to ride motorcycles anywhere in LA County. Like, you can't. The only place you're allowed to ride is a track. So anything you do is illegal.
Well,
So
I got two buddies there from out where, like, I'm south of Chicago that moved out there, And the one, he goes to Arizona to ride most of the time because he lived there for a little bit. And the other one, he doesn't ride, but he lives in, I think he lives like in the rich area because he lives with his in-laws right now at a pretty fucking sweet. I'm trying to figure out where the hell they live because I always ask
Dude,
them.
a cheap house, like not too far from here. The house that I'm doing a house flip right now for an investor. We're doing all these flips with him, and
She's back.
dude, it's not gonna. I'm trying to get somebody. I might have to temporarily. What I'm gonna do is get somebody to call her, so that
Well, why
she.
don't you just answer it and talk to her? Nick and I
I
can.
don't care.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, actually. Give me like 5 seconds. Hold
You
on.
haven't watched this podcast very much, obviously.
Hey, Mom. Tracy.
So,
Can you
if
call
you are
Lindsay?
just listening,
Tell her that I'm on this podcast thing. I'll be done in a minute.
Jeffrey's girlfriend keeps calling.
Just call her. No, call Lindsay. She keeps calling. Sorry about that, guys. I right after work, I stopped at my parents' house because it was right at 6 o'clock. We got here at like 5:45. So what I did was, believe it or not, we've been wanting to do a little podcast thing ourselves after we seen your guys' show. We were like super inspired, dude, and we started. As you could see, I don't know if you could see this little room we built already. We put up like chalkboard paint behind us.
I like
Miniflips
it. Like it
360.
says, 2 wheels of freedom.
Yeah, we put your guys' we put that up right a minute ago. 2 wheels of freedom.
It's
Very
2,
nice.
but it's cool.
Is it the it's 2 like the actual 2?
Yeah, T.O.
Number 2?
No, just T.O.
Like 2 and then 2.
Oh, dude, I got you.
Right. Awesome.
It doesn't matter. That's the most effort anyone's made so far.
That's more effort than we
Yeah, I
have.
got.
That's true. That's true. Look at my background.
I only have like 15 minutes to and if you guys would let here. Oh, here's my check. Oh, sorry. Am I still on? Check out this is the thing that I'm using to hold my phone in, is a wood clamp.
Nice.
You see this? I just clamp that onto the phone, and that's like my little I don't know, selfie stick.
Hey, if you're gonna do it sideways, oh, you can't because you're.
Oh, is that? No,
I've got my webcam is attached to a Windex bottle.
There you go.
Oh, really?
Without like being all up in the.
Did sideways work better?
Yeah, so it switches your screen. Yeah, exactly.
Sick. Okay, cool. Yeah, sideways wasn't anything wrong.
All right, I gotta get my first bathroom break. Plus, I requested booze and Christy brought them out, but I was gonna film her, so she backed out.
Good job, Nick.
Dude, that sounds like my girlfriend. She's like super pretty. Well, my opinion is she's super pretty, but you can never film her because she always thinks that she's not good enough for film. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, they don't want to be caught on tape. I don't know why. I don't want to, but
Dude,
Because Nick's constantly filming his wife, like, very inconveniently. She's passed out on the. I get Snapchats all the time of her, like, passed out on the couch and stuff.
oh, dude, Lindsay, that's my girlfriend. And she would kill me if I ever did that when she was sleeping. She like wakes up. She could like hear the video somehow, dude. And she wakes up. She's like, "No, get me off of there. Erase it."
That's funny.
Do you guys? Do both of you guys have kids? Do you have kids?
I don't. I have a dog.
Oh, cool. How old are you?
38.
How old are you? Okay, cool. I'm 36.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, I have one kid. His name's River. He's
Nice.
awesome.
Does he ride?
He's only 2.5. And we bought him a big wheel truck, and I bought him a pretty cool little coaster bike. But he'll be riding soon. He likes that kind of stuff. So
He's just small yet.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I seen your Instagram for your dog.
Yeah. That's my little
Yeah, that's cool,
sidekick.
man. What kind of dog is that again?
A blue healer.
Oh yeah, yeah. So blue healer, is that different than wait? What's the other one called? There's if there's a blue healer, then there's gotta
A
be
red healer.
Cattle dog?
what? A red healer?
Yeah.
Dude, those dogs are probably the smartest. They gotta be the smartest dogs.
She's up there. She's super smart. She's too smart.
Yeah, yeah. That's how we seen my friend's dog. His dog's name is Trigger, and he's a healer. And dude, he was. We walked out on him one day, and he was taking blocks of wood, and he was stacking them up on top of each other. It was like crazy to see that.
I heard that if you
How
take
dumb?
like
How
milk,
dumb is a black lab? Because my dog's half blue healer, half black lab. And I don't know if it's how much
See-
he drank when he was a puppy, but like I mean, he's a good dog.
I don't
but
think
he
your
doesn't
dog
do-
is blue healer. I think it's
Listen, the person who gave him to me for free said he was blue healer.
I don't care. That looks like
For free, they said it.
it's the same as Sloane's dog, which is not a healer. It's a
Cattle dog, Australian thing.
no. It's a damn it! I totally lost it.
How? You put so much
Oh,
pressure
you
on
mean-
blue healer like it's a fucking.
It's not a blue healer. It's a what the hell is Memphis?
A sheepdog?
Well, my dog's
Yeah,
Brandy's
but they're,
dad
like,
is
bigger.
Mexican. I know that. I don't know what brand he is, but
He's
he's
Mexican.
for sure from the Mexican ranch down the way.
I want to say it's a Calahula. So
What?
same body style as a blue healer, but they're much bigger. Like blue healers or red healers only get to like 34, 35 pounds maximum. And Calahulas, they look super similar, but they're, like 50, 60 pounds.
I gotta look into it.
Hey, guys.
But he's part black lab, so like he's way bigger. Jeff, are you drinking or you just got hairspray and
He's just spraying shit in his
Guys,
mouth.
I was gonna ask you, and I know this is probably not like I don't know if this is the spot to do this or what, but just so like, because I'm probably having a few people watch, and everyone's gonna be asking me, hey, who are those guys if they don't know you? But I'd like to know too. What I know you guys ride and you guys do freestyle shows and stuff, but give me some background on your freestyle stuff. Like Clint, you're obviously doing flips.
Not anymore.
I get that. But I mean, like, when did what's your freestyle career? I mean, like, you just did shows and stuff all over?
Yeah, I mean, I started in, I did the very first ever amateur freestyle contest at Raceway Park in New Jersey, where I met Derek
Sick.
Berlew, which I'd seen him at the track a million times because we both raced at E-Town, but that's the first time I actually kind of met him. Jason Lawrence actually jumped that contest, and then he was on an 80. So I started doing that. I rode the very first. I rode Monster Jams in the second year that they ever had freestyle motocross. I rode the very first concrete floor. They were called Thunder Nationals at the time. I was the first person to ride freestyle on concrete floors, at least for Feld or whatever the company was then. I rode the very first stadium Monster Jam that had freestyle motocross in it in Tampa Stadium in '01 or '02. I think it was '01. I actually tested ice for Feld and tested the AstroTurf. Ice sucked. AstroTurf was good. But yeah, I mean, I just did shows a bunch.
What year?
That was
What year did you start flipping, and whose foam pit?
Well, so I learned to flip initially in Travis's.
What?
Yeah,
Dang, dude,
because
that
I'm only
shit.
like 4.5 hours here in New Jersey. And Greg Hartman, he was flipping. He was going down there to learn to flip, and I think we lost him. And he actually was my
Yeah.
he was my in there. Greg was already going down, so then I told Greg I wanted to flip. So he talked to Travis. They said that was cool, and then I learned basically to flip there. I went to dirt for like 2 days, and then I crashed doing a double grab, and it was the first day I ever flipped was on Thanksgiving, and then winter tour was coming up, so I didn't mess with flipping because I didn't want to have to flip on tour ramp to ramp on concrete in some little building. So I didn't mess with it. When I went back in spring, Travis's house, my plan was to flip into the pit like 2 times, 3 times, and then go to dirt. And I flipped once, and Travis goes, or twice, and Travis goes, "Hey, is your clutch slipping?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Could you be engaging your clutch?" And I said, "That's very possible because I leave my finger out." And he says, "Well, most people's bikes, when they go off the ramp, it goes wing when they flip." And he goes, "Yours doesn't. It just goes bop." So he goes, "Take your finger off the clutch, do exactly what you just did." And I did that, and I did 1.5. So then it took me another 6 months
Oh,
to
sick.
convince myself to like calm down and not pull that hard. And then I went to Chuck Carruthers' house a bunch. I went to, I feel like I jumped in Cowboy Kenny's once too, but
Oh, really?
most of it was at Chuck's. And then finally I went to dirt at Chuck's
Nick,
house.
what? Hey, what about you, Nick?
Just got cut off.
Yeah.
So all right, so Clint started hosting all the amateur contests, and I was just trying to. I went to Lake Elsinore. I bought a ramp from Free Ride Tech because they were making them, and they were
How
gonna
much
start
was
selling
that, by the way? How much was that ramp?
some monies. Wasn't cheap, but like uh, I don't
You,
know. They started selling them online, and I could pay with a credit card, and it was a trailer ramp. But they
Yeah.
said they would deliver it, and then they went out and did that thing at Bam Margera's where Deegan crashed. And he's like, oh,
Yeah.
after this thing, I'm going to drop it off. I'm back to Pennsylvania. I know it's taking forever. He's like, I'm going to give you an extra ramp, too. And then Deacon crashed, so then they never got back to me. And then I'm like, listen, dude, I want my money back or I want the ramp. And he's like, all right, I'll give you your money back. I'm like, fuck it. I'll come get the ramp because I wanted it because we don't have hills or anything. It's cornfields and little tracks, nothing to do tricks on.
Yeah.
So I went out there, I got it, and then I didn't have a place to put it. And then the local dude who rode, who was good, he had some land. He's like, hey, you got a ramp? Can you bring it out here? So I said, yeah. So we brought it out. And then, so I just started jumping by myself and then him. But I was just doing tricks by myself. And then I found out these contests were going on. This is like, I didn't have Freestyle MTX. I don't know if you ever went on that, those message boards. I didn't have that. So I didn't know how to get through to anybody. So I started Clint. I found Clint somehow. I followed FMXE stuff, and he had the amateur contest. And I think I went down to Durham Town. It got rained out, at least for me. And then I ended up going to another one. And then they were like, "Hey, well, if you want to do shows, you can do shows." I thought it was way more complicated than that.
no, it's just meet somebody and then that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And then
I did.
And that's it.
I did like 2 shows with Chapter 11, and dude, and it was for like the monster truck things back east in Pennsylvania. Dude, my first show, like then I figured out how sketchy the shows are. Then I figured out, dude, it's so dangerous all the time. Like the runways aren't good. The landing, that all the dirt was out in the snow, so all the dirt was mud. So when you'd go off the ramp, you'd land and it'd stick in there. So then we all started. We had to get like concrete bags and trash and all this crap. We called it the trash jumper, the
Wait,
trash landing.
you had dirt landings?
Dude, yeah. No, and let me just tell you though, what's funny is, and I got the whole gist of how then they're putting like on launch show, they're putting down like the sticky soda oil, dude, which didn't really work, man. It didn't really give no traction. And my friend broke his my friend Devin Seeger. He's a really good rider, dude, and he used to be like an amateur pro, and he freaking dude, he like slipped off or something weird happened to his bike. I don't know, and he bogged out. He broke both of his legs, so I had to stay with him in Pennsylvania till he healed up, and because he couldn't get on a plane or anything, you know. And I spent all the money I made at that show. I basically spent the month staying out there with him, and then the other stuff that I did was like ramp to ramp, and we did one that was like it was so crazy, dude. All the dirt they had was to make the landing 7 feet tall, and we were just launched off this thing, dude. It's crazy jumping in a stadium. It's like people don't realize how actually dangerous. Not the ramp to the jump; it's everything surrounding that. You gotta stop quickly, or you're gonna run into the sides. You know, I mean, like
That's riding east of the Rockies.
You should go to a
okay,
circus.
well, that's a good point. That's a good point.
This ain't even.
So,
Listen,
yeah.
a monster truck show ain't even shit to riding a circus because there is shit everywhere. Everywhere.
You know how many times I've been to a circus and I'm always like, all right, I tell myself, before we hit the ramp, look for cables, look for cables. And then we set the ramps up and I land and I'm like, fuck, I didn't look for any
See,
cables at all.
I always
Oh,
flipped,
dude.
so I was always second, so somebody else had to jump it first.
Yeah, I had to clear the way. and make
So
sure-
I was, I was like, as long as somebody else, as long as they make it, then we're good, I guess.
Dude, I didn't even
That's
know
why I'd go
about
along
that.
to make
I
sure it
didn't
was
even know
extra.
about cables.
No, because you're
Yeah.
at a monster truck show.
I
That's
didn't know
different.
about that.
Nah,
But the first show I did was with Jim McNeil. Do you guys remember him?
yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, first show I did with him was with I was with Jim McNeil and Jason Abel and Devin Seeger and Arlen Van Dyke, and I was supposed to flip, but I had just learned flips. By the way, no one really knows this. This is an unknown, unconfirmed, basically fact, but I was the first person ever to backflip a four stroke. Nobody, when I did it in like 2004 or something like that, nobody had ever actually backflipped a four stroke yet.
Huh.
Really?
So I was the first four stroke to dirt. And what happened is this other bigger name dude, I forget who it was, came along and he backflipped at some stadium, his four stroke, and he got the title even though I had done it like 3 or 4 months before him. But he got the credit
So you're
because
claiming it right here on the two
Right
Wheels
here
Tuesday
on the podcast.
yeah, there you go, claiming it right there, man. And the other thing I was gonna say, so Jason Abel, he had to flip. That was in his contract for that show. And Jim McNeil was supposed to flip, dude. But that, like I said, the setup was so gnarly. The fact that Jason flipped, man, was just that was when backflips are brand new, you know, and like it just I don't know. It was way gnarly to see somebody flipping in the stadium to that weird mud landing. It was so dangerous, but he went for it. So
That's what you
So
gotta
it's like
do.
real life when you haven't really, it's not that common, or yeah, like when I remember when I hadn't seen it before,
Yeah.
it made me fucking nervous, and then I was like
dude,
anxious
it's like
to ride.
violent. It's
Yeah.
like violent, dude. It's like a violent. It's
Bam, and then
unnatural
they
for
hit
a,
it.
for a heavy ass motorcycle to be flipping through the air. The first time I seen somebody flip, I wanted to quit. In real life, when I see one of my friends do it, I was like, dude, I can't do that. And then I was doing it, and an hour later, I was flipping into the foam pit, but I didn't want to do it, man.
Peer pressure is a motherfucker.
Dude, and Jason
Yeah.
Abel, dude, he's got a weird. That guy, man, that guy's probably the best dirt bike rider I know, man. Even of all the new guys and everything, that guy could do those backwards whips. He can do backflip variations and all this stuff. But he was doing all that like right before the internet started. It's weird though. That guy is pretty visionary because he knew that something like this was supposed to happen with the internet in the videos and all. He knew it, but he was trying to talk to us about it back then. We weren't understanding. So, dude, that guy deserves. He's so under. That guy deserves way more credit for innovating stuff than they were doing 360s like the same time Pastrana was learning his. So they just didn't do any to dirt, but they're doing them into the foam pit. That's another one in when you see your friend doing a 360 into a foam pit, dude. That shit ain't right, man. It's out of control.
Hey, while I'm looking at it, are you at Moto Army too? Or who's
Yeah,
Moto?
that's me, Houston, my brother, which is also True Films. That's Jake Scott and Cliff Scott.
I feel like I've heard of Jake's guy. I've heard of True Films for sure.
Yeah, and Cliff Scott's my brother. He's really good too. He was on a more we're Mormon, so he was a Mormon missionary for 2 years. He hadn't ridden a dirt bike in like 12 years, and about a little over a year ago, he got on a dirt bike and went out to Beaumont, and he tried backflipping off of that oak tree jump.
No, I mean,
It's
if I
like
saw it.
Yeah, it's like right next to. It's like in that. It's all in that up in that same area. He didn't backflip oak tree, but he tried backflipping this other jump, and it was like, dude, he had only been riding 3 days, and he never. He didn't do a backflip in the foam pit ever.
Really?
Not on a big bike, on a 50. So he just went for it to dirt on a big bike, and he hasn't done one since. But he's really good. My brother Jake is really super good. Everybody's jumping 75 foot plus right now, and
You
everyone's
guys
waiting
all
on
doing
me to get
business
this
or
foam
what?
pit done because we all want to do flips, but more we don't just want to do flips, but I know the backflip, it's like the gateway drug, you know. If you don't
Yeah.
backflip, dude, you're not gonna do a 360, or you're not gonna do a freaking quarter pipe, you know. It's like a backflip is like your first
Yeah.
timer.
So you've been flipping a while. I mean, you were flipping a long time ago.
Yeah, I was flipping a
You
long
just got
time
away from
ago,
it, or what?
and then I quit riding for 10 years, and then
How old are you?
I 36.
Oh, okay. Oh
Yeah,
shit. So you're a little older than me, a little younger than Clint.
yeah. How old are you?
34.
Sick. Yeah, and I was talking to
So
Moto Mark
you're
the
one
other
of the
day.
few worms in California, or what?
No, dude, there's a lot of Mormons out here. Like there's a real.
Is there? Uh oh, you're buffering. You froze up.
I'm trying to make a drink. You can't
Yeah.
go buffering now. Jeez.
We brought up Mormons, and the CIA shut them down. Every time it happens.
Fuck. Why don't you guys just keep it,
He said he's Mormon. I wanted to.
keep
I
it
was wondering where that
government
was gonna
friendly?
go.
Wonder how many wives
Huh?
he has. I wonder how many girlfriends he has.
Well, I asked him if he was one of the few Mormons in California. He said there's a bunch out there. Aren't the Godfreys Mormons?
I don't know. They're not from
There's
California, are they?
si- situation. They shut him down, or he shut himself down. He self-edited.
Or his girlfriend shut him down?
Jeff,
Come back.
is that why he's not drinking?
Cause he's Mormon? Maybe. He just eats like chain lube and shit. Much better. Much better.
Look at that questionable looking drink.
Yeah, what is that?
Well, I always have juice in my house because I have kids. Pineapple juice and cheap whiskey.
Is Seagram's whiskey?
Yeah. Blended whiskey.
Blended whiskey. The
It's probably
fancy
blended
shit.
with like sugar, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any ingredients. It just says I'm gonna die if I'm pregnant and I drink, so I'm good there. And don't drive a car. And I'm at home, so we're good.
You drive a truck anyway.
Oh shit! Loophole. Good point.
Loophole. You don't drive a car. These guys.
Where did he finally answered that call from his girlfriend?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Hey, so is Tyler Beerman? Is he sponsored by Red Bull now? Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For what I seen on the internets.
That's what I seen today.
I did just see
Oh
some.
man, I always get blown away when I get on Instagram and I go through the feed, and then I see things that aren't in my feed, and I'm like, what? When did I like this page? And then I realize I'm on the Two Wheels to Freedom page.
Well, someone likes stuff on the Two Wheels to Freedom page too, because I'm like, we don't follow this. Who is this?
Well, I like certain things, but not all of them.
Did you see these special gold Alpine Stars?
Yeah.
Limited edition.
What's up with them?
Limited edition. Guess I won't be having any gold Alpine Stars. Alpensters.
Well, maybe we'll find some scraps in the dumpster in 5 years.
I'm gonna go to some Supercrosses and beg some people for their booth.
Throw me your boots. Did you watch Supercross this weekend?
Don't put it out with your boots, Dan. I did.
I did not.
It's one of those flaming bags of poop again.
Don't step on it.
He called the shit poop. Don't put it out with your boots, Dan. Don't tell me what to do, Devil Woman. It's a good movie. I did watch the Supercross.
Dude, alright, so I had a Bible study group thing me and Christy go to, and I planned it so I could go to it and then watch the race, which should have come out at 9 my time. And then I find out it's one of the few races that's fucking a day race.
You had already missed it.
Different Bible than Jeffrey studies, but still the same. So I was committed. I went.
They just added more women into their Bible. That's the only difference.
No, they had some other things too.
Or omitted. Either way.
I really don't want to get into that thing.
All right, go ahead. I won't pressure you into.
Are you looking at your phone? Because I'm looking at my. If you're listening, we're looking at our phones right now.
I'm waiting for him to message me to be like,
You think maybe he did like a bunch of chain lube and passed out?
Derek Beckering wrote, Jeffrey Scott, eat bugs for the camera.
What's Derek Beckering up to? Where you at, Derek?
I don't know. He just mentioned that on Instagram. I don't know that he's watching the podcast.
Let's just assume Derek Beckering's watching.
Let's assume he's not because he's too cool.
He's watching. I know Twitch is watching.
That's right.
Pretty sure Mac's watching.
I commented on one of Twitch's stories today, and he wrote me, but he replied. I just thought I was fucking with him, but
You put an eggplant symbol?
No, I didn't actually. He didn't either. He sent me a picture of Axel's dick.
I'm right now. Handle this situation.
Twitch sent me a picture of Axel's dick. and then just never replied.
You gotta listen. Wait, did that get edited?
Yeah, that's edited out. We can't talk about it.
We can't talk about that was in a podcast in the past.
Yeah, not exactly.
That's bullshit. That was the best part.
That's well, it's like he doesn't want to be like me and just piss everybody off,
I think he got Twitch fucking blasting the mom at his kid's school.
Yeah, that was a good one.
He didn't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Made a
Dirtbag.
scene out of it.
Well, because we're dirtbags too, apparently. So yeah, she talked about that guy who has like what 200,000 followers, like young, young
Yeah.
asshole. Most of them are young assholes. It's a
You
horrible,
don't give a fuck.
horrible idea to blast that guy. Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
like for sure Twitch had a meeting with the school after that one.
I
Hey,
bet.
Jeffrey says his account isn't loading. My phone died, and then he says I'll be back in a minute. Oh, he's coming back.
Here he
Shut that
is.
door.
You shut that door.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Is this Jeffrey from space?
we cannot see you yet because you're in another dimension.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Doesn't look good.
Jeffrey, this is the future. Can you hear us?
This is the internet. Jeff, we are the
Can you guys
internet.
hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear us? We can hear you.
Dude, no, I can't use the mic right now because I can't use the mic. Can you see me?
No.
Not you, but we can see a emoticon of you.
Yeah, hold on a second. What about now?
No, don't do any air filter oil until like
Yeah,
just.
I can't even hear you guys, so I know why. It's because it's the mic. I don't have my mic hooks up to my charging port.
Oh, you got an iPhone new.
But that shouldn't stop your camera from working.
Hold on a sec, though.
Let's trick him. He'll answer.
Yeah, give me a sec. I'll see what I can do.
Jeff, see what you can do.
Hey, Houston.
Jeff, this is usually how I bail on podcasts. I go, it went dead, and then I disappear.
Yeah.
You just gotta hang up.
He's like, I'm too drunk. My phone died.
I'm gonna yell at people.
So I'm looking at your little collage behind you. Who made that?
Oh, you'll be happy or my in-laws will be happy to know that you mentioned that.
They made it?
My in-laws. Yeah, my mother-in-law made that. So now, there it is. Here, I'll just show you the pictures of the kids. Because I don't want to look like a jag-off that's...
I already seen you standing there with your kids. You're going too fast.
I know.
You
I don't want to show pictures of
You got middle.
myself.
You
Unless it's
got.
on the internet.
You got flyover state internet. All right. You got to move your camera slow.
Mine's fast as shit. I can hear you. I can hear Jeffrey. Me and Jeff have been talking this whole time.
You're still talking to him. I'm the only one that can't see him.
Yeah, yours must have cut out. I don't know what happened. Must be really slow. Hey, did you watch that SpaceX thing today?
No, I'm not a 15-year-old kid, Nick.
It was fucking awesome. You should be a 15-year-old kid.
What happened?
I'm not even gonna tell you. It was
Big
really
rock.
fucking
A
cool.
big rocket shot off into space. Right?
Yeah.
And nothing blew up. They're dropping a fucking Tesla off on the moon and some Wisconsin cheese curds for the Martians.
Good to
No,
completely-
for the Martians.
All the above is wrong.
They're going to
That's a
Mars.
negative. He doesn't. I don't even like space.
They're taking
This is
cheese curds to Mars.
I like to describe it as a three-pronged, 30-story dong that the machine built, launched into space.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go off for 1 second. I'm gonna try something. Oh, wait,
All
let's see
right.
if I
All right. As long as it's not drugs. Try whatever you want, just not drugs. What are we talking about? The big dildo that
Exactly.
shot off into space.
No, that's fine. Clint's unimpressed by the biggest rocket to deliver anything to fucking space in the history of the planet.
We don't know that. One. Two,
Well, here it does
Two.
look faker than the fucking moon
Listen.
landing.
listen. I watch Ancient Aliens every Friday, and
That's aliens. We were
the
aliens.
moon is a spaceship. All right, it was placed there.
You know what I saw today that made sense? It said that the U.S. never landed on the moon because there's no military bases on it.
Ooh.
What?
Are you
I
guys
think.
talking about the? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you now.
and we can see you. I bet there's a Masonic lodge on the moon.
On the backside.
Hey, have you guys heard? Have you guys ever heard about that guy? He's like a flat earther guy, and he talks about dude, you gotta look it up about those silicon trees that used. He says these giant trees and crap used to be on Earth.
No.
Dude, look it up. Look up the YouTube. Just look up or Google silicon trees, and it'll blow your mind, man. He gets into all this stuff because this guy personally thinks that the Earth is flat and all this, right? He doesn't believe we've been to the moon, all that, which I don't believe that. But the tree theory, that he's saying that that Earth, everything on Earth, like fossils and petrified trees, he says that basically those aren't petrified trees. He's saying that one time on the Earth that they're not petrified, they were just like silicon trees grown from rock. Or they're like rock trees. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Just the way it grew.
Silicon-based life instead of carbon-based life. And he gets into all these crazy theories about like moon landing and all that.
Science,
Like,
bitch.
something like, didn't Scientology believe like all fossils are put into the earth or something like that?
Dude, that's kind of like what they're saying, that like how fossils are fossils. They're saying what he's saying is that they weren't. That's actually how they were. They're not actually. They didn't fossilize. They were actually in that form, basically.
Weird. So they were like rock trees or something, or.
Dude, you gotta check out it'll.
I'm gonna look up silicone trees.
It'll blow your mind, dude, because he's got a weird theory, and what's weird is they show all these rock formations on Earth, and you look at them as like a rock, but it's weird when you look at rock formations as like an ancient tree stump. Dude, they're so big. They're like 5 miles wide. These what he's saying, his theory. The tree stumps, and he says the trees are like 25,000 feet tall. And
Wow.
it's a strange theory, and who even knows if that's impossible or what? But it's kind of
Well,
trippy when he shows
How old does he say these trees are?
like, dude, but he says probably, I don't know if he says years, but it seems like the hint was kind of like maybe millions or thousands, years old. But what they were like, definitely in the past with all the dinosaurs and stuff, prehistoric.
I heard dinosaurs were made of stone.
That's what he's trying to say. Not like, but not stuff like you think. What he's like saying, like a silicon-based life forms instead of a carbon-based life form.
So you mean mythological creatures?
Life form. Say that again.
Mythological creatures.
Dude, yeah, it's a.
I want to see somebody find a whole dinosaur, like of fossils, and then like all at once to be like, here's it. Because they have like 5 bones, and then they go, well, it probably was connected by this and that. It probably had ribs.
That's what I'm saying, but it's always even Darwin's theory. You got to understand, it's all a theory. And I mean,
Yeah, everything's fact at this point. They say.
Now they switched it. Yeah, that's what they did. They switched it to now it's no longer a theory. They just switched it to fact, but that's not actually true.
There's never a fact, really.
Because what's that?
Well, if it's science, there's never like 100% a fact.
but they treat it. I mean, they're teaching our kids this in school. You know that everything it's a fact. They don't treat it as a theory.
Yeah, but
My kids don't believe shit.
everybody treats everything that they believe as a theory or as a fact. I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah, that's true. And we always look back on our past. Like, you know, we look at if you go look at medical about 100 years ago or so, they were bleeding people out to treat ailments. You would get bled out; it'd stick like a pin in your vein, and they think that they're bleeding out the virus or whatever you got into. And you look back now, and you look back, dude, that's so crazy. But I guarantee you, in 100 years from now, they're going to be looking at some of our stuff we're doing now in our theories, and they're going to be like, dude,
We're gonna look back in fucking 20 years and be like, oh, we were injecting it and we thought we were curing it. Remember when they thought that would work?
well,
exactly.
They would, except for everybody's gonna be drooling on themselves,
well,
and nobody will fucking.
Dude, history's going to change with all this social media and everybody filming every single thing in your life. It's going to change the future, and it's going to change our history because we've never been this detailed. With we're going to be able to look back, and that's why have you guys ever looked at the Google DeepMind theory or artificial intelligence theory?
no.
No.
Basically, what they're saying is, so even with what we're doing right now, every single thing you do on the internet's Google is they hold all this information. So the computer's gonna know you better than yourself in like 20 years.
Yeah, and that's how it's gonna develop personalities and shit.
And what they're saying is that the internet one day it's gonna wake up and it's gonna realize that it's an actual. It's gonna realize that it's an actual thing. It's not just it's gonna realize it's a something, and it's gonna become conscious at that moment.
Dude,
And when it becomes conscious, is what it then it's gonna end up being like Terminator. You know that those people that got that movie out, dude, they were ahead of their time.
Well, have you heard about Facebook? Like a month or a couple months ago, had to shut down their servers because Facebook servers were talking to each other in a computer code, and then they started changing it. The computers altered the code to where the guys who wrote it couldn't read it anymore.
They're creating their own language.
Yeah, they literally are, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's crazy," but that's really what was happening. And the whole thing with Facebook is it's taking in everyone's emotions and reactions to situations and this and that, and it's gonna build a database around that. I know it sounds crazy. It will, right? And then AI could tap into that and be like, okay, something horrible happened. How should I react? And it could pick the majority of the fucking reactions.
So AI
know that it was an AI situation.
AI is gonna be liberal as fuck.
Ugh.
Dude, it's gonna figure out our deepest, every single person's deepest, darkest desires, and they're gonna hook you up to the computer, and instead of like going to the doctor, dude, the computer's just gonna hook it up, solve your little brain problems, and then what they say is that, dude, the internet, dude, it's crazy. Look it up. Look up Google DeepMind. And dude, it's trippy.
So is AI gonna use our brains as like a source?
Dude, that's gonna upload us, and it's gonna figure out that human beings are like a plague to the earth, and it's gonna upload our brains onto like the computer, and it's gonna start killing off the humans. And there you get that Terminator movie. Is artificial intelligence becomes.
I love it when the podcast goes this deep, like an hour in. It almost always does. Like every time we end up talking about fluoride or fucking the internet or Google or something.
Dude, that shit's real, dude. I quit using fluoride toothpaste about like I quit. So I just use like dude, I got really deep in it. I quit using fluoride toothpaste, and I don't drink tap water. And I'm real like I've been doing like a 6-month experiment because I started realizing that third eye stuff, dude, that's real. Like we all have like a subconscious brain that is smarter than us, basically, you know?
What is the fucking chain lube doing to your third eye?
Dude, who knows, man? But anytime I do that, to me, the way you get your third eye moving and to start working is you gotta. Here's how you could support and promote your third eye. Is you start doing things that you've always said you wanted to do, and you just start doing them. And the more and more you do that, it taps into your artistic part of your brain, and art and all that crap, dude. It all starts making sense. And like even what we do, what we're doing right now with this podcast, and to me, my thing is dirt bikes and motorcycles and style. When I started acting, like when I started building a super loop and things like that, and just going out and actually doing stuff, it's like they say it's all controlled through adrenaline, and when the adrenaline makes serotonin, which basically makes you happy, right? So my whole goal in life right now is to follow my dream of creating some new dirt bike tricks, and it feels like to me the more that I act on it, the more it happens. I don't know. That's why I do all this stuff, and I feel it inside me. I feel that it's something that I need to do, and I know it seems weird to start doing that when you're 34 years old. Dude, it's like it was an uncontrollable urge. I couldn't, you know.
I mean,
I like it.
I think that
Good. Keep it going.
that's how I felt about dirt bikes as well. But I think that what it is that if you're that passionate about something, you're not going to quit, and not quitting is what it takes to be successful.
Yeah, but to me, dude, it's all like when you get a feeling. I don't, the best way that I felt like it worked was I built before, and I built it as, and I got this feeling in me, dude. I was like, I gotta build a house, and I built this house, and I somehow pulled it all together, and I ended up making a really. I always compare it to what I'm doing now is like my sub knew to keep me going on that path, you know, and like, dude, that's kind of crazy. I convince everybody to house with me, you know, my friends. It all worked out, and I feel like that's kind of thing is going right now. Like I started out, I just bought a dirt bike, and then what happened is, buddies a year ago, dude, we weren't even green. Nobody even knew our names, you know, and we just kept building little thing by little thing, dude. You know, I had a tractor show up, and like I feel like that's like dude, it just seems like it's meant to be. Whatever we're going towards, it's meant to be because it keeps working out. And oh, it may not all work out exactly how we planned, but I do feel something from all of it. That's my theory.
It's awesome. Well, energy you put out is what you're gonna get, and when you got a good attitude, it's not just that you see what's in front is. You know, you're getting it. But on it.
You said it. You could see what's in front of you. And one day, dude, I was getting these weird things. Like, it sounds stupid. And it sounds crazy. Have you guys seen that thing where I cycle from the garage and I just swung on it? So that world star, right? Dude, it got like 2 million views, dude. It was insane. And it was weird. I had just gotten this feeling right there. I just reposted it the other day. Up a little, up, right there. Well,
Oh,
right to the right.
it was in the center a minute ago. I gotta mute my thing so it doesn't blast it.
What?
Yeah, that
Why are you screaming like a girl, dude?
This made it to World Star?
Yep. And it's weird how that thing worked out, dude. I was sitting in my parents' house, and I'm like, dude, I think I could hang my dirt bike up from like the rafters and swing on it like a swing with the engine going. You know, it's weird. It came to my mind, and what I did was I went out in the garage right away. I didn't wait like a day. I did it right then. So, dude, I thought of it. 5 minutes later, we did it. It took me 5 minutes to do that. 5 minutes later, I did it, and 20 minutes after that, World Star contacted me, and they sent us a check for purchasing the rights from us. So
They pay for that shit?
Yeah, that's what all these bigger Instagram companies, they're buying videos off people for the rights to them. But then technically, there's the tractor, guys. That's the one we just bought.
I just steal videos on Instagram.
We do too. You know, on Moto Army, dude, that's what Moto Army is. Moto Army, we just go and post other, people's videos.
Yeah. I always thought that was all your guys' videos.
Nah,
Yeah, I always feel bad stealing your guys' videos.
No, well, what we do is we try to be the first people to post a video. So if somebody sends us a video, we just post it. Some of them are our videos, a lot of them, but some of them we're actually filming or we're actually in it, but not all. Anyways, that's the tractor right there, man. That's an enclosed cab. We got branded tracks on it. Dude, that thing, it's got 2 gears, air conditioning. It's like the Ferrari of skid steers, man. And we got a forklift attachment with it.
Oh.
Son of a bitch, man. Son of a bitch. Sorry, guys. Dude, I feel so bad.
You're all right.
For this thing today, when you had let me know that I was gonna be on the show, I didn't actually have a whole lot of time to prepare. That's why I didn't have headphones or anything. Like I said, we got home 15 minutes before I got on the show. So my phone, I tried charging it all the way home, but it only had like 50% charge. So
You gotta put it on airplane mode. That way it charges faster.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
It was a good trick for you.
But so what do you guys? Are you guys? I don't know who y'all follow on Instagram and all that. You guys been seeing what Colby Raha and the militia been doing lately?
Yeah.
That stuff's crazy, huh?
What do you mean? The like Area 51 shit or whatever it was, 52.
Yeah, they got some good stuff going down
Yeah.
there now. I think that,
What did I miss?
Everything.
Aliens?
What was that?
We're talking aliens? What's going on?
We were talking about the Branch Davidians.
I thought they burned all those kids in Texas.
Yeah, they did. That's why we were talking about them.
What happened?
I heard Area 51.
52.
Yeah. Area 51, that's in Texas?
No, we've got you totally confused now. Area 51 is where the spaceship crashed, but I think Area 52 isn't that the land that Raha was riding?
Yeah.
Dana Creech or something?
Raha's really in, dude. loves those fifth gear jumps, man. I'm not into that really like fast jumps, but dude, he's all about it. It's pretty cool that he that they went and built that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, um, Larry got hold of me the other day, and it looks like we're gonna be hopefully when I get a second, we might be taking the tractor over to his place, and we're gonna build some new style of jumps over there. Hopefully, so
That's
pretty
a
excited.
skid steer, Jeff.
What was that?
That's a skid steer, not a tractor.
Oh, is there? Well, I mean,
That seems like a technicality.
somebody told me that the other day. They said that's not.
That's some New Jersey bullshit he just pulled at you.
No, everybody everywhere would call that a skid steer.
I
I'd call it a
but
bobcat.
what
And in flyover states, called a bobcat.
what's the definition though of a tractor? I mean, what's like the it's a hydraulically ran thing on tracks. I mean,
Yeah, but
I would
lots
call it
of
a tractor would have wheels
yeah, exactly.
or tracks. No, I think it's universal.
I mean,
That's a fucking bobcat.
no, in between a tractor, it's in between a tractor and a bulldozer.
Here, for everybody listening,
This
we
is
showed a
a
picture of a bobcat, and then Clint called it a skid steer,
well.
and Jeff called it a tractor.
Normally, I would call
Everybody
it.
knows what a bobcat. No, everybody knows what a bobcat is.
Yeah, but that's not. See, Bobcat is like calling it a Kleenex or a Coke. That's
Yeah.
a brand.
Oh,
That's
you
a
ask for a Kleenex, or do you ask for a tissue?
that's a Caterpillar tractor, so it's not a Bobcat.
But if you asked for a tissue instead of a Kleenex, and I had a box of Kleenex next to me,
Yeah,
I'd
but
slap you.
if I
What
ask for a
about
if I
what
ask for
about you for a Coke and someone hands you a Pepsi?
yeah.
Or how about
If somebody hands me a Pepsi after I order a Coke, I'm slapping them
Yeah,
across
but here's the thing. If you're at
Have you ever
somebody's
had Coke?
house,
Or Pepsi is disgusting.
depending on where you are, every soda, pop, whatever you want to call it, Nick probably wants to call it
It's a
pop.
pop. It's called a pop.
Okay. But a lot of people, like if you're in down south, because Coca-Cola's right there, everything's a Coke. To me, a soda was a Coke.
I understand. I feel the same way. That
What do you call it? What do you call pop, Jeff?
I call soda.
I call it soda as a joke. Clint, what do you call it?
Yeah,
I call it pop as a joke.
Oh, I see how it is. What do you call it for real, smart ass?
When I used to, whenever I'd go out
Coke.
that way, like towards East Coast Illinois, we lived in Chicago for a few months. They call
Which Illinois did you go to?
Waukegan, Zion.
I'm just saying because you said it plural. I'm fucking with you.
Up in the noise.
Were you riding with the Rose?
Say again?
Were you riding with the Rose?
No.
He doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what you mean. Like he thinks a row is like.
I know. I'm leaving it vague like that because it makes it interesting to see what's gonna happen.
Hey, so yeah, so the thing is, so what we have coming up, I'm gonna build some new style of dirt bike jumps, dude, and so I've been talking to Larry, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that works out because they already have all the cool dirt piles and everything out there. You know, basically what I want to build is kind of like some rhythm type jumps, you know, and kind of excited about it.
Well, make sure that they don't take the credit for it.
Dude, they're all right. We have like we have me and Militia. We have like kind of an alliance, and I would call myself friend. Like I'm a friend of the militia. You know?
You're a militia troop.
So I mean, but in the end of the day, you know, everybody has their own thing going. I think that's how it is. I think that you try to collaborate. I think collaborations are good. I think collaborations is what brings innovation. And if you really ask me what I'm most passionate about is innovation, dude. I love innovation. I love freaking 360s, dude. I love anything that's not really common. Um, And for some reason, dude, when you get a bunch of people that are like-minded and you start talking things out, you come up. Who knows what's gonna come up in the next year? But that's kind of another thing I was talking about earlier. Is like, dude, we were nobodies a year ago. We weren't even a blip on the map. And I'm not saying I'm anybody now because I'm not. But I could tell you that Twitch knows my name. Larry Linkoggle knows my name. Uh, Colby Raw knows my name. Like, dude, to me, I don't know. It's and Vinny Carbone too, dude. I mean, I was like, dude, I'm like a huge fan of all those guys. So for them to even know who I am, to me, it's like, dude, I love this shit now. I love being a part of it, basically. And I hope that we grow in the next year to come. I hope that we grow. That's my main goal. But I want to grow because I want to bring innovation to this sport. Because I feel like the last few years have been like kind of dead, man. Pastrana hasn't really been cranking out a whole lot of stuff. Although I seen a little beginning clip of his new thing that he's doing. I'm really excited to see that. Whatever freaking hucked himself off that big ass ramp.
Yeah, that's just getting ridiculous, though. I mean, it's good, but I think it's getting to a scary point again.
It is, but I mean, to me, whenever, dude, have you seen? I mean, there's certain people out there they don't like Axel Hodges, and I understand that whole thing. That's kind of gay what happened with X Games. We don't really know all the details, but
But he's still fucking
other
shreds. Still kicks ass.
what's that?
I say still fun
Yeah,
to watch.
dude, did you see that freaking double that guy hucked himself off? Like,
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
dude, I was like, seriously, man, you gotta give it to that kid for that because he's a young guy, and he's probably not the one that's in control of his career. I would guess probably his dad or his brother are more in control of his career. So everything out of riding, he probably, doesn't have a whole lot of. It takes a huge production to keep that whole thing going.
Yeah, and then everybody wants
But
to be hardcore. Like, what matters more than his riding?
sorry.
Well, if you just look at his riding, it's fucking, it's awesome.
Yeah,
You could
and
argue that
no
anybody,
matter.
somebody's better, but still, that he's not top of where he's at. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and no matter where, no matter what outside of writing any kind of drama there is, dude. He's I don't know how maybe he's like a 20-year-old kid, maybe younger. And those jumps that he's doing, those freaking like that. It's like you gotta hand it to him because we all know from writing, dude. To He's got a lot of balls. You know what I mean? You
Oh
gotta
yeah,
film all that stuff. He's got a lot of talent and he's got a lot of balls.
it's a good
Uh,
combination of like talent, guts, and age. Because you get
dude,
a little bit older and you just quit. You just won't do it because you're like, well, what's it worth? You know?
and what about? Okay, here's another thing. Did you? I don't know if you guys how much you follow. You know, Axel. I for some reason see his stories all the time. But dude, today, Taka, dude, they were all out riding, and dude, it was crazy watching his. He was like,
I'm actually
he was
looking at it right now.
he was jumping with his phone in his hand, dude. And Taka, dude, did a one-handed, so he went off the lip to a body barrier, dude. And I was just, that was to me pretty insane.
Taka's always doing something bizarre. He doesn't do any normal. I mean, he was doing rock solid backflips. What? How many years ago? Years ago. Like for years, he's been doing them. Are you vaping?
He's the one that come up with that.
Jeffrey's vaping on the podcast. I thought I saw it earlier. Now I know.
Now you
Yeah,
know. He vapes,
I'm
bro.
determined.
He's vaping WD-40.
I'm like a.
Yeah, what do you got in there? Put some brake clean in there or something. Vape it. Come on.
Dude, that's funny. I just bought it from the gas station, but
Well, now you know. That's your next video. Is you vaping some random fluid?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
I didn't tell you to. As a disclaimer.
Uh, so, so basically, it's like this. We've been talking a lot, me and my brothers, about what we're gonna do, and people sometimes they see us and they're like, okay, dude, cool. You know, we're like telling them about the things we want to build, not super detailed, but we do kind of get in conversations with people, and people will be like, they see what we're doing now, and they talk kind of crap about it. They're like, oh, dude, that's not like stepping up the game, dude. This is pussy, not knowing that all these little things we're doing are experiments for the bigger stuff. So hopefully this is all gonna come to basically, hopefully, all of our hard work that we've been experimenting with for the past year, it's all gonna come to a point where we're gonna show what we've been working on. And so, hopefully that happens, like I said, in the next 2 months.
I hope it does. In the next what? Weeks or years?
Months.
2 months.
Oh shit! I was one or the other.
Yeah,
2 months. That's soon. That's really soon.
We've been stocking materials. Some of it's gonna come quicker. You know, we got the tractor. I mean, a lot of our ideas that we, you know, like the other day, I did this small little wall ride. You know, and it wasn't like I didn't mean it to be like a big deal. We just seen this little wall ride, and we're like, okay, let's go build a little lip on there and do it. And it wasn't like, you know, people, I think what happens is they're getting mixed up to thinking that this is what we're doing, like this is the extent. But really what's been going on is that we haven't had, sorry, I think that hairspray is getting to my head. Dude, it's getting to me. It's giving me a sore throat. Okay.
We should have had a drink.
What do we have with this podcast?
What?
Huh?
How much more time do we have on the podcast?
I mean, we're almost at 2 hours now.
Okay, well.
As long as you want.
All right. Well then, basically, I'll do the WD-40, and then I'll do that. So here goes the WD-40.
I couldn't even.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
No.
I've seen it drip off your tongue.
You gotta do it again.
Ugh.
Did you see that one?
No,
Yeah.
You gotta make noise when you do it because otherwise the camera goes to Clint.
Okay. Okay, so is the camera on me right now?
It's on you. Make noise. Go when you do it.
All right.
And they're gonna edit it on me. Okay, you guys. Okay, here we go.
Now he's got foam filter oil spraying it on his tongue.
Alrighty.
But it,
Was Fab One filter oil, and it's
Wait, one more time. I missed it. I missed the Fab One filter oil.
You ready?
oh, he's painting his tongue blue. It's painted blue, just like your air filter.
Alrighty.
This just happened.
I feel
It's
like-
all just.
I feel
Wait,
like
we need to describe it for listeners.
I
We just
did a little bit.
WD-40.
Yeah, first he sprayed WD-40 in his mouth, but I think he had it planned out because he did WD-40, then filter oil so that the filter oil would come off your tongue easier. I know your tricks.
Oh.
I'm gonna do two. Okay. Am I on the camera?
Nick, click on his square. Right now he's got WD-40 and foam filter oil, and I think he just inhaled some.
Clint, you're talking.
Did you guys see that?
I did.
Go.
Nick,
You
down
have a
at
blue face.
Nick, You see the squares in your screen? Click on his.
I clicked it. I figured it out.
Okay.
So how do you feel now? What are the after effects of what just went down?
You know what, man? I just feel a little bit lightheaded because I have a little alcohol. It feels like in the fat wine, but I think that the WD-40, what it did is it like Clint said, it broke up the hey, I gotta go.
Jeff's dead.
He just passed out on us.
I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead, you guys. Okay. Anyways, all I could see, I had to just pick up a dirty sock to wipe it off, by the way. Anyway.
What here? It must lead to extra white, straight teeth. Is all I would like. If I could.
Well, what about some of this? I don't know. Can you guys see this in the background?
Yeah,
Can
you
you guys see this?
with a huge like
Oh, chalk. How about this? Here, I'm gonna eat some
Anything
chalk.
from it.
now he's eating chalk, like one of those really big 3/4 of an inch thick pieces of chalk.
Chalk.
Your mouth has to be so dry now.
Some of that milk.
Gonna soak up the toxins.
That's true. It's probably a good move.
It's probably just saved your.
What are you doing? Throwing up? Are you vomiting?
Hey, but look at my tongue.
For everybody on audio, his tongue is blue like the chalk he just ate.
By the way, guys, all that I could see is still the skid steer on my thing. Can I X off that or something?
No, we just left it
You
there.
must have a delay.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and like that right there, that thing was nothing, dude. It wasn't like a big deal. I did out in Bakersfield, that one. That thing was gnarly. That was scary as.
I like this one right here, where you're walking the plank in front of your. Are you ghost riding this whip?
Ghost riding that whip. That's right. Dude, that chalk was the nasty one, bro. My mouth feels.
Did you have firearms in California?
Yeah, I don't know how legal they are, but
There they are.
But he's got him.
go down a little ways.
All right. Wait. To
This is
what?
that's like my second flip. That was about over a year ago. Both of those were over a year ago. I haven't.
What am I going to?
Oh yeah, go to the light bulb one right there. Or yeah. I was good. Go. That hurt.
Jeff, this is videos of Jeff getting fluorescent light bulbs broken on him.
Yeah, like a.
My goal is to go to Home Depot and have somebody break like on opposite sides of me, both hitting me with like a fluorescent light bulb, and both of them shattering at like the same time in like the aisle.
How about this?
Home Depot?
Why don't you make a wall of lit up fluorescent light bulbs and drive through it with your motorcycle?
Dude, I'm not even kidding you, bro. That's a good one.
I know it is. Because I could see just a wall of these fluorescent light bulbs like this, and you just all right through it.
Yeah, I'm gonna charge you for that one.
Dude, I'm gonna give you some credit on that one.
Hey, so what is FTA?
Oh, okay. FTA. So,
Fuck the authorities.
California, it's not. Well, I'm sure everybody could have. Hopefully, everyone could have their own thing with it. But what it is when you don't show up to court on a ticket, a failure to appear. So on your court documents, it's called FTA. You know, that's how it's listed.
Called a warrant?
FTA was funny because only people with FTAs are me and my friends. You know, we've all got tickets on our dirt bikes, and like idiots, we didn't show up to court, and you get a failure to appear FTA, and to me, like failure to appear is just like a way of life, dude. I mean, it's not just with your court tickets you're sloppy with. It's just everything, you know, your life. I don't know, man. Everything the wrong way and not the correct way. You know, that's pretty much my life.
Mine would be ILL. I'm a little late.
What's yeah, that dude. That's technically FTA in a roundabout way.
There it
I
is.
like it.
All right. Dude, thank you for coming on. It's been very entertaining. You're definitely the first person to eat motorcycle chemicals on the show.
Not just one, but several.
Hey, show us where is all this like stuff that's coming out of your mouth? Where is it going? Do you have like is there just a big puddle on the desk in front of you, or is there a garbage can?
Let me see.
Does he have a spittoon for booze?
Right. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but it's right here on the floor.
Ah,
So, did you see it?
yeah.
Oh, glass was there.
Yeah, there was the chalk and the
Oh, chalk. Oh, my bad. I forgot you ate chalk also.
yeah.
I love it. It's been very entertaining. And I hope your 3-story endeavor with scaffolding or whatever it is
Dude.
goes
Pray,
well.
Guys, pray that works out because I tell you.
You got the right attitude.
Yeah, I tell you what, dude. If that works out, I see a lot of neat things because I'm putting that 3-story next to the foam pit. So,
Oh, more details.
there's gonna be some madness going off that thing. So,
I'm excited to see this go down. I know I will on Instagram under
yeah, it's gonna be all
under Jeffrey Scott at Jeffrey Scott or what? What's your Instagram?
Jeffrey C. Scott, and then we have Jeffrey C. Scott. I also have another little Instagram I've been working on. It's called Bros, because pretty much everybody considers us so because we're four Scott brothers. So
What's the other one called?
what's that?
What's the other account called?
The other Instagram is called Scott Bros.
Ah. Isn't there one that says I'm not dead or something like that?
Oh, that Instagram post is that's on my story. On my normal Instagram.
Oh, because I felt like when I went on your page, it suggested me one that says I'm not dead or something like that, but maybe it's a story.
That was after it. No, you know what? Yeah, on the bottom it says I said not dead because that was the day after I ate Tide Pods.
There you go. Well, there you go.
Well, fair enough.
All right, dude. Thank you for coming on. It's been fun.
And
This has been awesome.
Prepared and sorry my phone died, everybody. But
Wait, you're at least as prepared, if not more prepared than most. It's dirt bikers. We all ride dirt bikes, so the preparedness is minimal.
That's why I don't even get guests till like the day before or the day of, because otherwise they like if I get them a week early, then the day of, like an hour before, they're like, "Oh man, hey, I can't make it. I'm like driving
Christy
or
asked me
something."
if we were doing a podcast, and I go, "Yeah, I'm doing a podcast." It was like 2 hours before. She goes, "Oh, who's your guest?" I said, "I don't know. I haven't seen it yet on Instagram."
I didn't know either. I was basically like, "Well," Bethany's like, "Are you doing a podcast?" And I said, "Well, right now it's probably me and Nick, but that's happened before, so."
well, hey, you guys. Seriously though, I'd come on anytime
So thanks
Once you
for
get
having
your big ramp done, then you let us know. You can come on and talk about it.
me. Dude, that'll be awesome. I can't wait.
Good, man. It was good talking to you, dude.
Hey, thank you. No, you guys are awesome. It was a really good time. Appreciate it.
All right.
We appreciate it.
We're signing off now. The intranets. Later.